everybody, it's Michelle, and today I've got for you a mat Pilates workout using a small ball. So it's going to feel really good on our spines. We're going to get in some really fun stuff for our abdominals and our legs, and I think you're really going to like it. So let's get started. You're going to come down onto your mat with your ball. You're going to place it kind of behind your rib cage, your shoulder blades, somewhere like that. If you want less movement through the spine, have the ball higher up towards your shoulders. And if you want more movement through your spine, roll it down closer to your pelvis. Okay, so somewhere in that zone, you want your low back to be tucked under rather than arched. Okay, so mine's kind of right at the base of my shoulder blades. Take your hands behind your head, and we're just going to start with a nice lengthening stretch for the spine. So let your head hang off the back of the ball. And then exhale, just kind of lift back up out of it. You don't have to think of doing like a big crunch. We're really just kind of resetting to re-stretch the spine. Whew. Very good. Couple more times. This feels so good, especially if you've been doing a lot of sitting or kind of rounding forward. This really gets us going in that backward posterior direction. All right, now we're going to add the arms on a little bit. So I want you to flex up and curl forward into kind of a crunch position. Reach one arm in front of you. Now you're going to stretch back just like we did. As you do so, your arm is going to reach overhead, and as you come up, it's going to circle around to the side. Yeah, so like a semicircle with the arm as we move through these two positions of the spine. So we extend and reach back, and then flex and reach forward. Very good. Now one arm is obviously doing a much bigger movement than the other, but the shoulders are trying to stay pretty even side to side. Good. Inhale on the way back. Exhale on the way forward. Let's do one more in this direction, and then with the same arm we're just going to reverse the circle. So now on the way back we circle open to the side and then cut through the center. Yeah, inhale out, exhale, flex up. So good. Feel that tail curled under. That low back should be able to stay strong. It's really our upper back that's doing the moving. Good, you guys. One more time. Inhale, feel that stretch through the chest and shoulder. Whew. All right, other arm. Reach forward. We'll go back first and then around to the side to reach through. Good. Inhale and then exhale. Yeah, the ball gives us a nice increased range of motion. Yeah, if we were just laying flat on the floor, we wouldn't get all this nice extension back behind us. All right, now let's reverse the circle of the arm. So as we inhale and go back, the arm circles to the side and up and then forward. So good. Really feel your feet digging into the floor to keep you grounded. Yeah, circle and through. Let's do two more times. See if you can curl up a little bit higher off of the ball. All right, you guys, so good. Okay, grab onto your head and then just relax into another stretch backwards. All right, now we're going to add a little bit of rotation for our obliques. So curl up to start with. We're going to inhale, go into our back extension. Now as you exhale, you're going to reach your left arm and curl towards the right leg. So the hand goes outside of the thigh and then lay back. Other side, reach and then lower. Good. So now we're kind of moving off of our midline a little bit. That's going to challenge our legs, so they're going to have to work a little harder to stay stable. Yeah, reach and down. Try to get that reaching arm shoulder blade to come off of the ball a little bit. Yeah, let's do 2 or 3 more. Now, let's pause with our left arm reaching towards our right leg. Now, hover your right foot off of the floor into a tabletop. You can adjust your bottom foot however you need to make that happen. So now I'm reaching over that tabletop leg. Now, I'm going to leave my arm long, lay back over the ball, stretch the leg in front of me, take a breath in, and then just flex back across to where we started. So we inhale, stretch back and lay open, and then exhale, curl. Good. So your elbow and your knee are trying to meet or even pass each other. So see if you can get a little deeper twist than we could before. Good. Do that 2 more times. Open, and then think opposite side of the ribs to opposite hip bone. Now curl up and stay, and just pulse in. So upper body and lower body pulsing. Good. 3, 2, 1. Place the feet down, hold the head and stretch back. Ooh. Okay, now let's do the other side. Reach the right arm across, float the left leg up to tabletop, kind of get your bearings, and then we're gonna lay long, kick the leg forward. And it can go super low to a hover, and then we cross. Inhale, open, exhale, press. That's it. Try to keep that knee in line with hip and ankle. Try not to let it splay open to the side. And then reach. Good. Couple more times. This arm just opens to the corner of your mat. Let's do 2 more here, and then we'll add our pulses. Good. Find your deepest twist, and then drive in, in, in. See how far those elbow and knee can get past each other. 3, 2, 1. Place the foot down. Oh, and take another big stretch back. The best part is the stretch in between. Whew. All right, you guys, last thing here. This is a little bit tricky. If you have long hair, like I've got my ponytail, you're gonna wanna hold your hair up out of the way. Don't do what I did my first time and get your hair stuck under the ball. It's not fun, so hold your hair up. Also, if you have really loose clothing on, it might get caught up in the ball. So just know that, and we'll modify if you need to, okay? So I'm gonna show you the modified version first. So wrap your hair up if you've got it dangling. So modified version is just gonna be a really simple stretch and crunch, okay? Kind of a version of what we've already done, back and forth. Okay, now if you want to join me in this little bit of a trickier addition, you're going to hover your hips off of the floor. Now when you curl up, you're going to kick off of your feet and roll the ball down towards your lumbar spine, and then roll back down to stretch over the ball. Okay, you're going to flex and roll, kick into your heels, and then release back. So I'm just leaving my tailbone off of the floor, and it feels pretty good. It's kind of like a massage as that ball rolls up and down, and then it also makes those abdominals really have to work to drive down towards the ball, and to not let you fall off the side of the ball. So that too. All right, let's do this 3 or 4 more times. Scoop and round, tuck, 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 and then lay back. So good. 2 more. Widen those shoulder blades. And then last one. Very good. All right, set your hips down, bring yourself off the ball, and just take a little stretch forward over your legs here. Kind of adjust from coming off of the ball. Very good, you guys. Whew. Okay, my back feels better already after all those good moves. Okay, next we're going to come on to all fours. So take your ball, and you're going to place it under the arch of one foot, or kind of, ankle, top of the foot, something like that. Hands are going to come down under your shoulders, knees under your hips. All right, you guys, so spread your fingertips out, press the floor away from you, and we're going to go into a cat-cow stretch here. So let's go into the extended part first. So you're going to breathe in, lengthen your head and tail, and look up. So you feel a stretch through those abdominals. Now as you exhale, we're going to utilize the ball. You're going to push into it with the top of the foot and see if you can get a little bit more ab and quad connection as we round the spine. And then you can relax the pressure to stretch, yeah? So just flow through these 2 positions, however fast or slow you would like. Yeah, doing the exhale as we flex the spine helps to deepen that ab connection a little bit. So good. Let's do about 2-ish more rounds through. Yeah, really feel those shoulder blades moving in and out across your ribs. All right, last time here. Kind of spin the tips of your elbows out to the sides. All right, now end up in neutral, long head and tail. Hover the knee of the ball leg off of the floor, and then I just want you to roll that leg out and then in, letting the ball roll along your mat. Now you might have to adjust the placement of your foot on the ball to change the range of motion. So, take these first few movements to do that so you feel like you get a full bend and a full stretch comfortably, okay? Now go slow enough that you can keep a lot of pressure onto the ball. So we don't just want to let the ball do the work for us. We want to really smash into it to feel that ab connection. Good, you guys. Now if this is feeling kind of easy, reach the opposite arm as the moving leg off of the mat, testing your balance just a little bit more. In and out. Let's do 3 more. Keep the pressure onto the ball. 2. Last 1. Now pause with the legs straight. Rock back a little, forward a little. Back a little, forward a little. Good. Try not to collapse into the low back. Keep lots of pressure on the ball. If this is too challenging, set that lifted arm back down for 2. And then last 1. Good. Now leave the leg long. Replace the hand back on the mat. Take a breath in. Now exhale. You're just going to push into the ball with your legs straight and then release. Yeah, so you have a little bit less force that we can generate when the leg is long. So really squeeze the thigh, the hip flexor, the abs draw up, and then release. Good. Couple more. Good. Your breath and your movement go together. So use that whole exhale to push down and release. Okay. Now keep whatever pressure you comfortably can on the ball, maybe like 50%. Now don't move the ball. Just bend your elbows and kind of drop your face between your hands and then press the arms straight. Do that again. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press. Good. Elbows angled out, kind of 45 degrees. Okay, now by not moving the ball, this is a little bit easier. So your hips aren't moving. There's a lot of weight in your legs for these push-ups. If this is plenty challenging, then stick here. Or you can make this more challenging by rolling the ball forward and then rolling the ball back. So we're moving the hip joint and putting more weight into the arms rather than the legs. And you can go pretty far. You can kind of go till your thigh or your chest almost touches the floor, keeping pressure on the ball. Yes, we get a little bit of support from the ball, but it's a lot of work for the arms. Let's do 2 more. Down and back. Last one. Good. Now press the arms to straight and just allow the leg to roll along the ball until you come into kind of a modified pigeon stretch. Drop your head towards the mat and then just take a few big deep breaths. Good. You can kind of rock that open hip kind of side to side like you're trying to put your thigh on the floor to get a little bigger stretch. Very good. All right, bring yourself back up and let's do that on our other leg. So pass the ball over, same setup. Okay, here we go. Wide fingers, elbows point side, and then let's start with our cat and our cow stretches. Yes, so pushing hard into the ball to flex and then release and stretch up. Good. Now since we've already done this once, familiar to our bodies, yeah? So see if we can flow through a little smoother, make it feel a little more natural in the body. Good, couple more. The speed is up to you. Just make sure you feel like you find each shape completely before you move on. All right, you guys, now let's end up in neutral. So halfway between those 2 spots, hover the knee of the leg that's on the ball, and then just roll out and in a couple times. Good. Adjust the ball till it feels like you've found the sweet spot. Back and forth. So good. The more pressure you put onto the ball, the more activity you're going to feel through the abdominals. Good. And go slow if you need to. Yes, that would be better than rushing through it. Okay, next we could add the opposite arm as the working leg off of the mat. Yes, suddenly those obliques have to kick on a lot more. In and out. Good. Try not to change the shape of your back. Make your hip really change to move the ball. Good. Now pause with the leg long and just rock forward and back along the ball. So the hip and the wrist and shoulder are really moving. Back and forth. Good. Stay centered on the mat. Place the hand down if you need it. Let's do 3 more. Good. Abs up. Don't twist your hips too. And last one. Whew. All right. Hand down. Long legs. Do a couple smashes of your leg into the ball. So really give it some force, like you're trying to pop the ball and release. Exhale. Good. Really deepen that exhale. The harder the smash on the ball, the more you're forcing the air out of your lungs. So good. 2 more times. Press, ribs draw away from the floor. Last one. All right, now maybe put like 50, 30, 45 something % of pressure onto the ball, and then take some push-ups. No movement on the ball at first. Yes, so your kind of chest and face will go between your hands. Yes, now keep that connection of the foot onto the ball. So it's a full body working. Now, if it worked for you on the other side, let's add the rock. Forward and back. Yes, we can use a little momentum through the hands. Push and pull. So good, you guys. Forward and back. Couple more times. Good. How about 2 more? We can do it. 2. And then after your last one, press back, let the ball roll up the leg, sink back onto the heel to stretch. Very good. If your toes can touch the floor, that might help give you some support. And then maybe rock your hips from side to increase that hip flexor stretch. Oh, very good, you guys. All right, that was impressive. Very well done. Okay, now the ball is going to come under our hips, and we're going to be in kind of an elbow plank series. So place it right kind of between your 2 hip bones. You can, of course, adjust it up or down till it feels comfortable. Bring your forearms down to the mat, and then place the balls of your feet down as well. Okay, now I want you to squeeze your thighs so your knees come away from the floor. Press into your elbows and try to pull your rib cage away from the ground. Okay, that's going to be super important. If the rib cage collapses, the abs stretch out and then we're done for. So keep that going. So now take a breath in. As you exhale, all I want you to do is kind of lighten up how much weight you have on the ball. So you don't have to totally detach from it. Just kind of hover slightly and then ease your weight back down. Do that again. Exhale, draw the abs up, squeeze your glutes, come away from the ball a little bit, and then lower down. Very nice. Keep the connection to the glutes. Lower body stays active. Now, if your feet are further apart from each other, this is a little bit easier. So change that as you will. So nice. This is good. We kind of have a little bit of support in our plank. Yes. All right, now let's do 1 more. Okay, now put some of your weight into the ball, maybe not all, and then you're just gonna rock off of your ankles a couple times, forward and back. And feel free to move your arms around till it feels like it's in the right spot. Good, it shouldn't be like crushing your organs, so make sure it's not too high. It's more rolling on the front of your hips. So good, you guys. 3 more. Really get those ankles moving and stretching. Last 2. Now, last one, get yourself centered back on the ball, and we're going to do some single leg lifts. So draw the ribs up, float 1 foot up, barely off the mat, and place it down. So connecting to the glutes and the hamstrings. Good. Now when the leg flies up, don't lose that connection of the abs and the ribs pulling away from the floor. So if that happens, don't lift the leg quite so high. Good. Now hopefully your weight should stay even on the ball, so you shouldn't feel it dunking side to side. Good. Now let's pause with one foot up and do our rocks with one leg off of the mat. Now if you need to rely on the ball a little more, go for it. Or you can rely on your own arms and feet a little bit more. 2, 1, switch legs. Other leg up, press the floor away and rock. So good, you guys. Draw the belly buttons up. 3, 2, 1. Good. Bend your knees. Sit your hips back. You can even set your arms on the ball. Ooh, and just take a little hips on heels stretch. Oh, good. It's nice to have a buddy to help us do planks every now and then. All right. Okay, you guys, we're going to finish with a little standing series. It's going to challenge our stability, our balance, all that good stuff. So come up to standing. It might be a good idea to be near a wall or a chair, something you can hold on to if you need to, all right? So stand up. You're going to place the ball under one foot, okay? Ball of your foot on. And again, you might have to kind of change your setup till it feels right. So find your balance. All we're going to do is roll the ball out and in a couple times, okay? This is just to kind of get familiar with the movement and see if we like where the ball is positioned. So just rolling it kind of from our toes to our heel. Yes? Now again, you don't want to rely on the ball too much, so you should have just a soft touch. It's more of a guide than like something we're death gripping onto, okay? Now, as we roll the ball out, we're also going to squat with our supporting leg. So if you'd like, you can do the arms, almost like a chair pose in yoga. Your arms lift, the bottom knee bends, and then we roll the ball back in. Okay, you're welcome to eliminate the arms. Please hold something. If you feel unstable, roll it out and roll it in. You'll know if you're putting too much weight into the ball. It'll probably roll out from under you off to one side. Okay, so light touch, hip flexors working. Now, if you want to push yourself, feel free to try to sit a little deeper. You could almost treat this as like a pistol squat prep and try to place your heel and your sitting bone close together. Ooh, good, a couple more, not easy. Lean into it, so good. Find that hinge of the spine. Whew. Let's do one more, lean, and then stack. Whew. All right, maybe step down for a second. Let's do the other leg. So turn around if you like, or move the ball to the other foot. Okay, same deal. Ball of the foot on, and then out and in. Okay, just test out this working leg a few times, and then we'll add the standing leg. Very good. Okay, here we go. We're going to bend the supporting leg, get a nice stretch for the back of that ankle, and then restack. Take your time, no hurry. And lift. Good, roll. You really want to sit the weight back through the hips. Find a nice long angle through the spine. Very good, you guys. Listen to your body. Do what works for you today. This is not by any means easy. Lean and then stand. Let's do 2 more. Maybe drop a little bit lower. And last one. Whew. Very good, you guys. Okay, let's switch feet again, except now we're going to roll the ball backwards. Okay? This time, start with the ball a little bit behind your supporting foot, okay? Now, I want you to roll your foot, kind of point your toes so that it's the top of the arch of your foot resting on the ball, okay? Now, maybe just straighten and bend your leg a few times here. Squeeze your glute, roll the ball away. Okay. Once you feel kind of comfortable with that motion, here we go. Everything else will be the same as before. We bend the bottom knee, we reach the arms forward, and then we stand tall. Yes? If you feel like your foot is touching the floor, you might want to adjust the ball so that it rolls kind of to your shin, something like that. Upper mid shin is probably about where you want it to end up. Okay, feel free to keep this small, or you can drop into a big lunge if that's working for you today. Yes, feel the abs staying short, squeeze the glute, and really open the back thigh. Whew. See, the wall is helpful. Last one. Whew. Awesome. Okay, let's do our other leg. So place the ball a little bit behind that standing foot. Get your bearings, point your toes, and rest the arch on top. Okay, do a couple of tester rolls. Good. So really engage the glute. You should feel a lengthening through the hip flexor. All right. Add the arms and the supporting leg when you're ready. Give yourself enough time to find the shape and then stand. Find it and then stand. Now, depending on the size of your ball, the length of your limbs, this all might look a little bit different, but it's okay. Do your version, whatever that is. Down and then lift. So good, you guys. Let's do 2 more and then we're done. Last one. And then return tall. Good, you guys. So not easy. All right, let's cool down with a little bit of a stretch. So stand with your feet nice and wide. Place the ball on one hip, and all we're gonna do is walk our hands and roll the ball down the leg towards the foot, the floor, whatever you can reach. Take a breath here, and then just roll the ball back up the thigh, and then walk it over to the other hip. Same thing. Nod the chin. Now try to roll the ball to the outside ankle, and then if you can find the floor, just keep rolling it as far away from you as you can, and then roll it back till it connects and stand up. Good. Let's do one more time on each leg. Good. Heavy head and torso. Really kind of melt your weight of the arms into the ball. And then crawl it. All right, last time. Good. Keep that back foot nice and heavy. And with that, we are all done. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Pilates workout using the ball. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up down below. Leave me any feedback or requests down in the comments. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on, and I would appreciate it if you'd share this video with a friend. And I'll see you next time. Bye.